Guys, this channel is turning out to be quite the experiment. One week we're driving a GR Corolla, the next an LC500 from Lexus, old school NA V8. And today we're driving a 2025 VinFast VF9. This just came out, US deliveries have begun, and it's the follow-up to the VF8. The VF8 was a compact crossover, 2-row. This is a 3-row SUV. Designed by Pininfarina, which is crazy to think about. They're done with Ferrari, of course, they're doing their own thing. Battista is a real vehicle. But here as a side project, I guess you could call it, the VF9. It has 2 motors. It's an EV, of course. It's VinFast, a Vietnamese company. It's got 2 motors. You can either spec it in the Eco trim or the Plus trim. This here in front of me is the Plus trim. It's sitting on 21-inch wheels. And it is an interesting vehicle. They're basically trying to beat the Chinese to the North American market, and that is a huge uphill battle when competing against the Japanese, well, actually more so the Germans and the Koreans when it comes to EVs. So the Kia EV9 is kind of the closest competitor. VinFast logo on the back here. I think it looks phenomenal. I think it's a great looking vehicle. It's got a light bar on the back, very modern. It doesn't really stand out other than the badge that it's something different and new. Of course, down here, VF9 logo, little wing here, does have a rear wiper. That's a win. The wheels aren't offensive. I've seen much worse wheel designs. They've kind of got this aero look to them, 275s. All the way around in terms of width. This one's got the running boards. Not all VF9s come with the running boards. One thing I have noticed though, getting in, they're a little bit tilted like that way, which I found a little bit strange. Also, it's kind of a bit hanging up there. Little details like that that we'll see throughout the review. One of the craziest parts about this thing is the vent in the hood. That is crazy. That's of course to help with aerodynamics. So all VF9s have an estimated range of, actually no, that's a lie. The Eco has an estimated range of 531 kilometers. The Plus here, slightly less at 470 kilometers. That's really good, especially compared to the competition and for such a huge vehicle. Now, that's because it has a 123 kilowatt hour battery. That's just the usable range. It's actually bigger than that, but that's insane. That's approaching Ford F-150 Lightning battery size. So you can imagine it's really heavy, and it is 6,500 pounds. Just incredible. We're gonna go for a drive in a second, but let's poke around. First, we'll open the door. I wanna show you guys the front, the back, and then we'll go drive. First off, this is kind of strange because, so the key ring's on this side, and you would think that, okay, well then you're looking at it always like this. Other keys are facing that way. Skyline key in 1999 got that right. So why is it then upside down? The key ring should be on that side. That's a little bit strange. But yeah, we'll go to unlock it. Power folding mirrors, that's a help. So to get in, it doesn't really have keyless entry, but what you do is you just press this, and the door pops open. We're on a little bit of an angle, so it didn't pop open a ton, but it does pop open. It also has soft closed doors. The VF8, I don't believe had that. I never drove a VF8. But let's look at the front real quick. I mean, this is crazy, you guys. So much room there. Definitely doing everything they can to improve range, which they've done. There's your frunk, pretty straightforward, not huge, but also it's there. It's in this gray color. You can spec it in like a blue color as well. There's an orange, some funky colors. What I really like about this is it's not so big, like it's not unnecessarily tall. The ground clearance isn't crazy. It's more like an extended wagon than anything, which I can appreciate. Not crazy long overhangs either. Let's open up the back here. It does have a kick there that you can use. Third row's up. If you want to put these down, you do have to manually put these down, the headrests. Boom. Be aggressive, you guys. Get some work done. So that's your third row. They've got a couple of tracks here where you could like tie things down, which is good. And yeah, that's basically it for the third row. We've got an outlet here. And if I were to move my bags, you'd have a little bit more storage down there. And then when you hit, okay, so when you're going to close the trunk, or the hatch, I guess, you hit that button. It gives you a second. It gives you a second. I don't know, yeah, I'm not sure why. For safety, I suppose. Here's where it gets crazy, you guys. So the back doors also do that. And you've got a really good second row. No sunshades. I definitely noticed that. But you can spec it for the Plus model here. Don't mind my camera in there. With the captain's chairs back here and the huge center console. And then you can control all your stuff down there. Small, well, actually it's decent sized center console in the middle, USB, not C's. Wireless charger though, for second row, which is crazy. That's a flex. And then we have our screen here and we can adjust all our climate control. You've got, yeah, like I said, even massage seats in the back, which is nuts. Heated seats back here and everything. And that's all adjustable back here. Look at that. That's crazy. I've never seen in any vehicle a third row panoramic moonroof. Awesome. I love that. As you can tell, VinFast is stuffing every possible feature they can into this vehicle. So, to start up the VF9, we don't have a start-stop button. So what do? Well, we just hit the brake and it brings my seat up to its position, saved position. And then the seatbelt chime starts yelling at me. This is so frustrating. So frustrating. I'm in park. VinFast, what are you doing? I would not be able to stand that if I owned this vehicle. No gauge display here, just your standard center screen. There's a lot going on here in terms of colors and features. Everything is controlled through here with exception to your radar cruise control, which I will say works very well. Really good radar cruise. And your headlights, well, you've got your wipers here, of course, but your headlights, what is this? Lane inoperative. Adaptive cruise control, inoperative. Why? Because I said it was good? It's too good. Can't use it. Okay. There's been some warnings like that that have kind of popped up out of nowhere and then gone away. Overall, though, aside from the few software glitches that VinFast say are going to be worked out in software updates, it's fairly good to use. It's really actually responsive and easy to use once you get to know it. So your lighting controls there. You can adjust your mirrors. You use actually the control on the steering wheel to adjust your mirrors. You've got your heated steering wheel control there, heads-up display, which is awesome. This one has heated seats, ventilated seats, and they have a massage function. So if we go down here, hit the seat button, massage. It's better than a few other vehicles that I've driven that actually claim to have a massage, and they're just not very good. Massage, I would say, is actually a pass. It's a little bit loud, but it's pretty good. It's definitely not like an excuse for a massage seat. It's actually, it does something. Heated seats are awesome. They get really hot. And yeah, that's about it. What can we do? Apps. We've got a ton of apps. It's got some games preloaded here, which work. Well, that's a lie. I haven't played any of them. I haven't really had time. But wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are standard on all VF9s, which is really good. And you just have your standard stuff. No battery preconditioning that I can find, but you can move around these widgets and kind of adjust it. It's like an Android tablet. That's kind of what it reminds me of. You have all your drive aids here, just on the menu, and then of course, like if you hit your vehicle down in the corner there, you have your quick control. So that stuff comes up. You can go into camp mode, which if you go into park, then it just keeps all the electronics on. You can play games, do whatever you want. Once you get used to it, it's easy. Climate control, for all of it, you have to pop up this screen, but for the basics, your temperature, you can just adjust it like that. Like, look, it's responsive. It's more responsive than other quote-unquote legacy manufacturers and their systems. So I really don't have many complaints. It's just, when you first get into it, it's confusing. Did I mention 400 horsepower, 457 pound-feet of torque? Guys, this thing weighs, look at me, I'm like chuckling. Because it is pretty funny. It weighs 6,500 pounds, almost 1,200 pounds more than the new M5. That's 2 GT3 RSs stacked on top of each other. Crazy. Got our drive modes. We've got Eco, Normal, or Sport. We've got Creep mode. Regen braking levels can be changed. There is no one-pedal drive, which I don't mind. I don't really care for one-pedal drive, but it's got a ton of power. Here we go. 50 kilometers an hour. Oh, we'll start it out a little bit slower. 40 kilometers an hour and punch it. A little futuristic sound, nothing offensive. There's no other options for auditory feedback. Eco, the throttle gets super lazy. Sport, way too twitchy. I never use Sport. And you can change the regen like I mentioned. Funny thing to note is all this resets to normal every time you get back into the car. I wouldn't be able to stand that. The view out of the hood is, sorry, the view out of the windshield, not the hood. The hood looks crazy just from here. I think that's one of the best things about the VF9. Got a couple more beeps. Warning lights, glitches, but once you forget about all of that, you floor it. It's a lot quicker than I would have expected. 457 pound-feet for this heavy of a vehicle. Like 457 is a ton of torque. That's a lot, but not for something that weighs double as much as a GT3 RS. As you can see the camera there, I don't know if you noticed, it's a little bit glitchy, super low res, but it works. It's quiet. Actually relatively good on the lack of road noise. Steering's light. Gets a little bit heavier in normal. Does require a ton of turning input to turn the wheels. It's got a slow steering rack, so in the parking lots, in the parking lots, we all go to the same ones. You do have to move your hands a lot more than I would have expected, so that's kind of a downside. But it's a luxury SUV. It's kind of, I guess it's what you would expect. It doesn't have super twitchy steering. And most of the time when you're just driving like this, it's smooth, it's comfortable, and you know what? It just works. It's an appliance. This is coming from somebody who drives fast cars, who likes loud things, as I'm sure most of you guys do as well, but it's interesting every once in a while just to get into a vehicle like this that tries to do everything all at once. And the VF9, it's Does it succeed? I think it succeeds, especially on paper when you compare it to a lot of the competition. Starting price here, $74,000 Canadian. This Plus model, which gets the massage seats, the roof, soft closed doors, all that kind of stuff, is $78,000. It's a little bit more. And again, the seatbelt chime is yelling at me. I just put it in park. Jeez. Yeah, you know, it rides smooth most of the time. If you're really hustling it, you hit some big bumps. It tends to get unsettled a little bit. God, what a gorgeous car. Competition's tough here in North America. That much is, I mean, that's so incredibly clear at this point. So the Germans, maybe if you're really looking for a luxury SUV, might be the way to go. But for a daily driver that has features at this price point that others don't, it's a good one. So thanks guys for watching. The full review on the main channel will be in the description. That's about it. See you next time.